Hi, my name is Peyton Peacock, and I wanted to research Jessica Mitford's essay on embalming Mr. Jones. During my research, I was hoping to learn different techniques that other countries, and I even found an interesting technique that the U.S. does when it comes to remembering their loved ones and holding services in order to remember them. The first one that I came across was South Korea, and they're called the burial beads. They're small, colorful like beads that they sort of heat up the body and form it into these small little crystal-like things, and they'll put them in like a glass container or something they can leave up on the shelf to display in their homes. A lot of people have said that these glass full of beads sort of bring them warmth rather than an eerie feeling like a coffin or a urn would have if you had it up on a shelf. These beads actually range in different colors. You can pick what color you want your loved one to be in. And the pricing on those, the process usually costs about $900, which isn't too much. You actually get something really nice out of it. These little crystals, I think they're actually very interesting, and it's I think it's a lovely way to remember your loved ones because it's not something that gives you a sad feeling. It could cheer you up based on the colors and things that you chose. It's really beautiful. And the second one that I found were the fantasy coffins that they do in Guam. And the fantasy coffins are basically just coffins shaped like things that would represent how the person lived and things that they accomplished or things that they loved throughout their life. This one would be of a fisherman or someone who loved to fish. Based on the way that you acted, the people that are being buried usually don't choose what their coffin is in the shape of. It usually rely on the families to do that. They get to pick what you're buried in. And this one would be of a shoemaker or someone, a sneakerhead, as I saw online, someone that loves shoes. And I also came across a camera and a few other interesting things. I also thought that was a good technique if someone wanted to be buried in a casket or a coffin. Those prices internationally usually ranged from $5,000 to $15,000, which many people would think was absurd, but based on the small details of it, it would really just depend on how nice it was and all the characteristics of it on how much it would cost. And the third one that I came across was actually here in the U.S. I didn't have a picture of, but it was the Coral Reefs. Internal Reefs is a company in the U.S. where they take the bodies and turn them into they mix them with concrete, and you can add things on to go with it, such as if you had a pet, they can put the pet in there with you in the concrete, and they drop it down into the ocean in order for fish and other wildlife that are in the sea to sort of live in it and things to grow off and things like that. It's just basically a way for you can improve the ecosystem, and it's just something beautiful that your family can get on a boat and go out and ride and see. Those prices usually range from, the smallest one was $3,995, and the biggest concrete reef was $7,495. They also increase because based on the add-ons that you choose, like if you wanted to crush something up and mix it in the concrete with it, each add-on would be $250, but it's usually just a big concrete block, and you can decorate it, put handprints on it before they drop it in. It's really up to the family, and the families are usually charged $75 a person to be ridden out on the ships and accommodated to, or the small boats, and accommodated to see the coral reefs of their loved ones. And I just think that was a really good idea too if someone loved the sea or they lived in that area. But researching this topic helped me to see many of the beautiful ways that people remember their loved ones and the things that they do for them. And I really enjoyed my research.